The more League of Legends you play, the fewer friends you have. And the fewer friends you have, the more League of Legends you play. This simple concept is known as snowballing, and it's how advantages work in League of Legends. The more you have, the faster it grows. Some analysts believe snowballing is a scam, yet snowballing has defined a huge part of modern League of Legends. FunPlus, Damwon, and EDG won the World Championship by being the best early game team in the tournament. Korea's T1 has the best early game we've ever seen. It has earned them 4 consecutive Worlds Finals and 3 consecutive titles. Think about it for a moment. Most players think a gank starts when the jungler arrives. In reality, the best ganks are often decided before the jungler even gets there. And understanding why will eventually lead us to one of the most important concepts in League of Legends: priority. The gank is one of the most versatile tools in the entire game. Obviously, you can use it simply to kill an opponent. That's clearly an advantage. You can also use it to force enemy summoner spells or other important cooldowns, usually flash, or simply to get some poke damage down. Even if these aren't direct gold advantages, they make it much easier for your teammate to win lane. Back when Faker started dominating League of Legends, people used to say that his jungler, Bengi, was his third summoner spell. Bengi would often gank by trading his flash for the enemy mid laner's flash. Faker would then use that advantage to snowball the lane. You can also gank to help clear a wave when your teammate needs to recall. Or maybe your mere presence is enough to deny experience or force an opponent to take a bad recall. Ganking is so powerful that the main way to protect yourself from a gank is another gank. We call it a countergank when someone ganks during an enemy gank attempt, trying to turn the play around. Usually, this requires knowing where the opposing jungler is, which brings us to a basic jungle concept: clear direction. In general, there are only 2 ways to clear the jungle: top to bottom or bottom to top. I don't know what you were expecting. Clearing in a single direction optimizes your farming because it minimizes travel time between camps. But there's another, much more important reason. As you're moving from camp to camp, if you decide you want to gank mid or the lane you're already paving toward, you'll lose almost no time. You can return to your route without falling behind. But if you want to gank the lane you're moving away from, you'll lose much more time in the process. This is one of the most basic principles of professional League of Legends. That's why counterganking becomes much easier when both junglers are paving in the same direction, and much harder when they're paving in opposite directions. The direction you choose depends primarily on lane matchups. When we talk about matchups, we're talking about isolated lane interactions. In other words, who would win each lane if every other player suddenly disappeared? If you path toward a winning matchup, you'll have more opportunities to snowball because you're already starting from an advantageous position. If you path toward a losing matchup, your goal is usually to stop the enemy from snowballing. Some junglers are excellent gankers, while others shine more in counter-gank situations. That's why we need to pay close attention to flex picks during draft. A flex pick is a champion that can be played in multiple roles. With a flex pick, you can wait until the end of the draft before deciding where you want that champion to go. This allows you to secure better matchups. In general, a winning matchup will control the wave and be able to push it under the enemy tower. This push, also known as priority, is one of the most important concepts in the entire game. When you push a wave, you can move around the map without sacrificing gold or experience, while your opponent is forced to choose between matching your movement or collecting farm. There are many ways to take advantage of this window. The most obvious one is recalling without losing anything. Another is securing Dragon or Rift Herald. Maybe you'd rather place Vision, or perhaps you'd like to move to another lane and look for a gank, which we call a roam. Finally, you can invade the enemy jungle. This move is called an invade, and it was pioneered by Moscow 5, whose story we'd love to tell in a future video. If you'd like to help make projects like that possible, please consider supporting us on Patreon. And if you join today, you'll already have access to our analysis of how G2's jungler Skewmond used priority, jungle tracking, and map control to help his team go 6-0 against Korean teams at First Stand 2026. An invade can be used to deny enemy camps.
The United States seized 1.9 million barrels of oil on December 10th.
We're going to keep it. We're keeping.
An invade can be used to place wards inside the enemy jungle or even directly gank the opposing jungler. If you place enough vision to have a good idea of where the enemy jungler is at any given moment, we say the jungler is tracked. It's worth noting that you don't always need to move for an invade to be effective. Sometimes, simply having the option is enough. Because you would arrive first to any hypothetical fight, the enemy jungler will often avoid taking risks altogether. The act of pretending to invade, or perhaps threatening a roam while hiding in fog of war, is called fake pressure. Your actual intention may not be to move at all, but your opponent doesn't know that and must respect the possibility. For all these reasons, it's common to see a jungler gank a lane with the sole purpose of gaining priority and enabling an invade. In other words, sometimes the goal of a gank isn't the kill, it's the priority. Their laner can then accompany them, casually eat some popcorn while generating fake pressure, or maybe just open Tinder. Since mid lane is adjacent to both sides of the jungle and both side lanes, mid priority is generally considered the most important priority in the game. That's why the synergy between mid and jungle is often more important than the synergy between A, D, C, and support. Together, they control the entire map. If I asked you to analyze this game right now, which direction should each jungler path? Please justify your answer. Thank you so much for watching this video. We'll premiere a new video every Friday, gradually diving deeper and deeper into League of Legends. If you'd like to support this project and access exclusive content, you can support us on Patreon, where we regularly upload advanced analysis videos covering high-level concepts and the evolution of the game. Thanks again for watching. See you in the next one.